Guardian, we've picked up a high-gain transmission. Origin point is somewhere along the coast, near the Cosmodrome.
All right, folks, welcome to Cosmodrome Radio Podcast, episode 55. We are here for episode 55, and we are here after a little bit of a drought of content, but then Bungie smacked us with a live stream. As we talked about last week, they announced we were doing like 3 live streams back to back each Tuesday, talking about the Into the Light update we are getting on April 9th. And wow, I was actually pretty blown away by what we saw. Especially for a free update, like that was one thing that I was watching TDT's video that he emphasized that it's a free update, and they're like doing all of this. It was just like, wow, we're actually taking consideration doing all this content for a free update, and that blew me away. And there was like the one thing that kind of got like got me irritated when people were saying in the chat like, "Oh my god, recycle content." It's free, bro. Like they even took the time to even like change parts of the Midtown map to make it look like we actually doing something here, and I thought that was really freaking cool. But we'll dive into that here in a minute and whatnot. My name is JP and Cajun. We do it big here every Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern for you good people. Don't forget that you can follow this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, all those places. Wherever you listen to a podcast, we're probably there. If you can't find us, check out CosmodromeRadio.com. You can find us there. Make sure you do all that. The shop, like, was where you can find all of our merch. The featuring Craig the Drag. Cajun's even sporting the shirt right now. We do this stuff, so make sure you check out the website. You can get our Crow Today one shorter. It's the logo, like support us and whatnot. We're gonna be doing something fancy for the final Shape Day 1 raid because I'm trying to cook up something real good with the Witness because it's gonna be real good. But yes, we are here for a brand new episode for you folks. We're Cajun, Sleepy Man. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Freaking holy crap! Been slowly getting back into freaking Destiny 2, but trying to make sense of the fucking Guardian games. I'm just gonna say right now, Bungie. I gave you the blueprints last podcast. Seriously, fucking use it. You're welcome. Make sense of this fucking event. Like, I know it's a free event. It's supposed to be competitive, but it just feels like every week it was a different flavor. I swear to Christ, Tuesday at reset, we're gonna get told it's a tie.
Because Hunters won 2 weeks and Titans won 1 week, so you can't do a tie.
We didn't win 1 week.
Wait, what?
Or sorry, we won 1 week, Titans won the next week, and right now Warlocks have been winning this entire week.
But I thought on Friday it said Titans won this past week.
See, that's the thing. It's fucking weird. Like, it called it soon. I'm like, wait, no, that doesn't make sense.
It's like Final Guardian games of the 10-year journey. It's a tie. I'm gonna laugh. That'll be real funny if it is a straight up Titan. Now, I would love if Titans just won just to screw over Hunters, but they're not gonna do that. But that's just me. But it's what it is. Our special guest with us this evening, fellow Titan extraordinaire, crayons on deck for the homie, TheNinjaMonsta. How you doing?
I am good. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
You want to let people know where they can find you and all that fun jazz?
Oh, yeah. Twitch and TheNinjaMonsta. It's linked down below the video. Also, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. It's either NinjaMonsta or NinjaMonster. So super easy.
Hell yeah. Brand notoriety is a thing. We love it.
Yeah.
So I have to say this because I just heard it. There's definitely an accent there. So where are you from?
Fuck.
Oh man!
No, I'm gone. I'm leaving. See you.
Oh snap!
I was raised in the South, so I have a very, very small twang. Most people don't actually pick up on it, so I'm kind of impressed you caught that. Actually,
it only came out on the stuff, not on the
Shit. God damn. All right. Yeah. Yeah. I was raised in the South, so.
So one thing that I've been wanting to do, because that we didn't get a chance to do with our past couple of guests, is I want us to have people start talking about what's your go story? Like what got you into Destiny? Like what made you want to pick it up and fight for justice and peace and all that fun jazz?
Or in your case, the crayons.
Yeah.
Hey, crayons for life, man. Don't knock my crayon.
Hey, I'm gonna get me a purple one now that I know that they exist.
You do.
Like that's freaking life.
I can send you the link, man. Etsy.
Yes.
I got you.
My big thing that I want, like, before the day one raid is I want to buy like a full 3D printed Saint 14 helm, because like that's just me. Like I need that. That's my boy. That's why, like, here in a minute, we already know April 2nd they're bringing back the Season of the Dawn shit. You ain't ever gonna see me in nothing. I've been saying for like past like months we've been doing this podcast that if they ever bring it back, you ain't ever gonna catch me in nothing else. I don't care what's up. Like I've been waiting for that Mohawk helmet for so long, man. I need it.
I was rocking that today in trials, so I feel that. I don't want the 3D printed, but I feel that. I do like him a lot.
Freaking Trials was a crazy house this weekend. Wait, your camera disappeared. Where'd it go? But keep going. I'm gonna fix it.
Okay. So my hubby actually got me started into Destiny. I met him 7 years ago, and this was like 2014. So the Forsaken DLC was coming out, right? And I had never heard of Destiny. Didn't know that Destiny 1 existed. Didn't know that Destiny 2 existed. I was actually a college student, and he was working full time to support us. And he texted me from work and was like, "Hey, babe, the Forsaken campaign, like DLC thing, is dropping for Destiny 2. Could you buy it for me while I'm at work?" And I was like, "What the fuck is Destiny?" And he was like, "Is this, you don't know what Destiny is?" And I was like, "No, I don't know what it is." And he's like, "It's made by Bungie." And I was like, "Sold. Give me the card information. Like, I will buy this for you." Because I grew up on Halo. Yep. I grew up on Halo. I played Halo 2 with my sister for years. That was our thing. Yeah. So I bought it for him, and then he texted me back and was like, "Hey, it's going to be a long day. Like, do you mind downloading it for me?" Got it downloaded, and I could not resist the temptation to try it out. So I booted it up.
Let me tinker with this.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, got in there. I fell in love with the first mission, and I was like, "That's it. I'm like logging into my account on Xbox. I'm creating a like Guardian, and I'm gonna fucking play this mission." And I haven't stopped since.
Hell yeah, that's what's up.
She went, "Fuck it, Bungie.
Take my money.
Take my money."
That's what's up. That's what's up. Okay, so Bungie decided to throw this into the light stream at us, and they came out swinging. I must say, they came out swinging with this, and I was very impressed. I was very much like, especially because like I even watched Bike's video where he was like, this could just be a lot of fluff. This could be a lot of bullshit. Like, are we actually gonna fight in the last city? And we're in the last city. We're having shit go down. Granted, am I a little bummed they didn't just take like the 0 hour map or like something similar and have us fight through like the different halls and whatnot they used for, say, for Scourge of the Past? That would have been dope. But like at the very least, we're still in the last city fighting and taking on the Witnesses' forces, and that is so exciting for me that we're actually going in hard body karate and doing this. And I'm like, especially because like there's a buy system, we're collecting a currency, we're going like hard with this. There's turrets, like Kaido's giving us turrets. I'm so excited. Like already, I'm hyped. Cajun, how you feeling about this?
Dude, okay, so first and foremost, like, I won't lie, when it was the live stream was kicking off, I had my freaking notes out, and I was like, I was typing down every little bit that they were putting in. And so to be very clear and honest, they talked about a whole lot. Like this was the most in depth that they ever went on talking about any one of their activities.
Right.
Okay. And by the time that it was all done, it was amazing how much we're really going to get for this game mode and how much they've learned from the seasons this year. Okay. They learned from the deep dives, which led to the coils. which now has led to Onslaught. And according to what I've read from other creators, and I'm trying to find out where exactly it says this, apparently this will be a permanent activity. This isn't just something that's one and done. This is going to be permanent. Now, I want Bungie to come out and officially say this.
Yeah.
But if that is indeed the case, to everybody saying, oh, this is recycled content. No, this is Bungie cooking yet again. All right. But the possibilities for this mode, okay, are crazy. Okay. It's like, hey, you know, all the world loot, this is a possibility. I'm saying, Bungie, think about this. The world loot, how often we get these unique weapons. Like right now, we got the Rosvago AR.
The Rosarago, yeah, that thing's
the Rosarago. Right now, we got no way to farm it. What if?
Well, we do. It's lost sectors, but like,
yeah, if. But what if you could take an event or activity such as Onslaught, which is permanent, and make that into the farmable? Dude, I would play the living shit out of that.
Yeah, because like even today, there's the new stasis sidearm, and it's like I don't want to go fucking do Neomuna's law sectors to farm.
Oh God, no!
Like those are horrendous law sectors. Granted, I've been saying that needs to be the caliber of what every law sector is for a long time. But doing those on repeat can be a lot, especially to farm something. So it's like, I got what I asked for, but also like it.
But this is a really big interesting thing. So basically you're going to get loot every 10 levels. So if you're doing the 50 level challenge, right? That's going to be 5 chances at loot. Now, when you go to the harder difficulty, you will receive double the loot at every 10. So that's going to be very rewarding. Now, granted, when you're on that harder challenge, which is the non-match made, when you're at 30 plus levels, you're going to be hitting GM level enemies.
Right.
So you're going to need those builds. You're going to need that coordination.
Yep.
And that's what I'm looking forward to.
Now, here's my one issue that I'm worried about with that. But also, this especially because this isn't a seasonal thing, this is going to be a permanent thing.
Yeah.
I'm worried about, I don't want to say accessibility, more so the complaints from lower skill players being frustrated that there's more rewards for your time investment. Because they even said with Legend mode specifically, we're going 50 stacks up the tower versus with like granted, like this season with Riven, it's been like, hey, if you can swing digging and go full out, you can get the rewards. But a lot of people have been frustrated with that. They've even told Bungie, I've looked at the forums, they've said, why is it so hard to get these rewards? And the answer has been your time investment. Your time investment, but also your like competency with a team. And there's a good chunk of the community that wants just the automatic gratification of wanting the rewards. They don't care about time investment. They just want to pull the lever and back at it again, get the drop, see the little like Riven jar open and get the rewards.
Yeah.
But how is that gonna be here in a minute where it's like you got to keep climbing up these towers over and over again to get these rewards? Like, I'm trying to advocate for the little guy, but I'm also like, get good. You know what I mean? Like, it's very much like I'm excited for this hard content as well.
This is where, and I promise when I start doing my Destiny 2 streams again, I'm gonna come at the freaking I would say newer / low skill players. Destiny 2 right now is in a position that I will dare say this. If you have a good build, you're going to do better than most casual players.
Yeah.
And for discussion, if you have a competent build, meaning you've got a good exotic with decent rolls, it doesn't have to be the best, but decent rolls with armor that has decent rolls.
Yeah.
At least 100. That's all you're aiming for. Okay. With good build synergy with an exotic weapon or even normal weapons, you don't have most builds, you don't need an exotic weapon in order to make it whiz bang. Okay. It just competent build. You're going to go far. You're going to be able to do a lot of the content and you're going to find it makes it a little bit easier. Now, that's where we will say from that point on, you do need to increase your skill. So the get good, yes, you're going to have to learn the mechanics of whatever you're doing. You're going to have to learn the maps, learn the content, learn the enemies in order to get better as a player.
But the thing about that is, as well, though, like, go ahead, Ninja.
I was just gonna say that's the same kind of attitude that I have towards teaching people raids, though. Like, yeah, you can come in with legendary weapons. You don't have to worry about having an exotic or the exotic that we need for the encounter, but your build, like, you need at least 100, like 100 stat. You need at least one of those. And if your build in and of itself is crap, you could be the best player in the world, but you're still not going to beat the shit out of a raid, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing about that is, like I think the issue we talked about on the podcast before, like, get good has such a bad stigma behind it, but it's also like you need to put some investment into the content if you're going to get reward. Like, I helped a dude with a GM earlier today, and he tried to come in with a weird ass loadout. I was like, cool, let me run this back by you real quick and let's fix this. Font mods don't mean shit. Don't use them. Let's fix this. Get you 100 resilience, even though you're 100 resilience matters. Yada yada. Got him an Omnioculus build put together. He lived more than the person helping me with the GM, and he was doing great. So it was like, once you have a competent build, you can do a lot in this game. But so many individuals are afraid to put the effort in. They just want the fast track and not have any impediment with that. And I don't fully understand why.
So I'm gonna say this for a lot of the newer players right now, or those that, you know, scream about not having builds. Right now, Destiny 2 is in a position where, yes, a lot of us, I would say a lot of the more hardcore players are belly aching about no light level increase. And they're like, what's the point of us grinding? Well, right now, when I say in the past couple of weeks, just doing minimal content, not a whole lot, just enough to get Guardian games done, get the contender cards done. I can't tell you how many exotic engrams I have freaking come across, okay? When I tell you just opening those suckers up,
got a point.
I get chances at exotics. Exotics for days, bitches.
Bro,
I mean,
someone made the joke in my chat yesterday that, like, exotics have become the new blues, and I ain't even mad at them, fam. Like, it feels just like that.
But
you're not wrong.
But at the same time, like, how awesome is that? Like, prior to this year, when were we ever in that freaking economy of being able to get so many freaking exotics or chances at getting those good rolls?
I mean,
like, this is it. This is the time to cook. This is the time to set those builds up to where freaking here comes final shape. You're going to be, you know, like you say, fuck, whatever your catchphrase is whenever we get started with this damn shit.
What?
Sorry, my brain frazzled out right there at the end. And I'm like, motherfucker.
All right.
Hot lock and polka dotting.
Popping and locking and polka dotting. Yeah.
Thank you. Like I said, my brain just
Miley Cyrus was queen for that line. That's why I use it. It is iconic. Popping and locking and polka dotting. That's what we do here.
Sorry, my ADHD said, fuck you.
My brain's like, wait, what? I didn't even say it today, but like, it's funny. see, that's a great merch shirt idea. A merch shirt idea for me. Like, literally just George fucking like doing pop locking and polka dot. I need it now. I gotta talk to you later. That's great.
Write that down.
but no, like like, and the thing about it is, like, I am excited, but like, you have a great point. Like exotics drop at such a high rate. But there was even somebody in my chat the other day that was like, "Oh, I haven't been able to beat this lost sector. Even when I do it on legend, it doesn't drop me an exotic." I'm like, brother, Asher Mears got you hooked up over on Neomuna. You can go get you as many Vex incursions as you want. Like, I got all my hunter exotics, and I'll have every exotic in the game unlocked. Like, there's so many ways now. Bungie has made getting content done so accessible now, and it's what people asked for so long. Like, accessibility to the game, and we've reached an era when it comes to the game now where there's not much else to ask for when it comes to accessibility beyond give us back old content. That's what people are pretty much at now. It's like, hey, can you crack open that DCV a little bit? Like, can we get back in there? Because like, we're not asking you to make new content beyond these PvP maps. We want the old content. Like, everyone's sweating balls over, oh my god, the D1 tower is coming back. I'm like, all right, fair. Like, I'm only here to access my vault. Like, wherever we go, I'm happy. Like, it's fine.
Like I won't lie. The freaking DCV, they unlocked that D1 tower. Oh, trust me, I'll probably be in there for like a good couple of hours, just reminiscing. But after that, it'd just be like the helm. You stop in for a second, haul ass out. You know. But outside of that, just like overall, Onslaught is looking really freaking good. But two of the main takeaways that I came out of that was, first off, Shax is our vendor. So finally outside of PvP, I feel like Shax is going to get some limelight, which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
And then two, the Brave Arsenal. Now one thing I want to take away from that dev live stream is that Shax is quote unquote has had to put away Arsenal of things that were too powerful and banned.
Yeah.
I know I'm not the only one that thought of two weapons that were the reason why some of the weapons got fucking sunset to begin with.
I already said it last week. Y'all don't want Recluse back, but like, it makes a point.
I'm all here for it. If they bring back Recluse, they better bring back Mountaintop. That's all I'm freaking saying.
No, because here's my worst fear. If they bring back Mountaintop, and if it's not the way it was before, people are gonna bitch.
So,
but if they do bring it back, that means people are gonna lose their shit and break the game again, and Bungie's gonna go ballistic.
So
those are the two fears here.
So here's my kicker.
Okay.
The only way I could see it coming back is that number one, it's gonna be its own archetype.
Ooh.
Meaning, like, so hear me out. Its own archetype, because remember, it had a perk called Micro Missile. That's what made it so fucking potent. Literally, you could use it like a goddamn sniper. It was so freaking accurate. I love it. So they would make it its own archetype. Now, when you start looking at some of the other perks that it could potentially roll with, from grenade launcher standpoint, now most breach loaders do not have spike grenades, so it can't get super powerful. That's number one. Now, number two, now let's look at some of the perks that are common. Now, if memory serves me right, and I could be wrong, Mountaintop was kinetic, right?
It was.
Okay, so that means it's not going to have incandescent, it's not going to have volt shot, it's not going to have volatile rounds.
I have a fear of what you're saying here.
I'm waiting.
So at best, we could see some stuff like, perpetual motion. We could see stuff like freaking demolitionist, pugilist. Okay, but then in that fourth column, that's where Bungie can cook a little bit. And I've been
afraid here.
That's why I don't I'm at that point where I don't really want to say much else, because I know we're only a couple of days away from getting all the info on the Brave Arsenal.
Yeah. Right. Like, next week's gonna be funny to figure out what's going on.
Yep. And then the thing about this whole thing, we're getting the Brave Arsenal this Tuesday. What are we getting the following
Tuesday?
Yeah.
So for everybody complaining right now, my question is, do you go to someone's house when they're cooking you a meal, and when you see the first set of ingredients start bitching,
Ooh.
do
That's a
you
good point.
do you shit on the casserole before it's even fully done and
I mean,
present
if I
it to
see
you?
raisins and the eggs out, I'm a little bit concerned, Cajun. I'm gonna tell you that. Like,
Look. If you see any freaking Caucasian individual putting raisins in the freaking potato salad,
Leave.
yeah, you got
time
valid
to dip.
reasons at that point. All right, but honestly, Bungie came out of the gate with freaking Onslaught. They freaking honestly, to me, that was a good start.
mhm.
Could they have probably taken 2 dev live streams, shoved it in together? I don't know. We haven't seen the second one yet.
Unless
And to-
unless the weapon one comes out hard swinging, I feel like that could have been one live stream. I don't want to say it, like especially because truthfully, it felt like at a certain point in the dev live stream, it felt like that we were watching the same thing over and over again to a certain extent, and
Yeah.
it was like, okay, cool, this is dope, but like. What like it's like that meme of like, where's the rest of it? Like I felt like Dudley from fucking like Harry Potter 1 where he's like, where are the rest of my presents? Like I'm like it's just like
You said
like 36. The last time I had 37. Like where's the rest of the meat here? And it's like I'm willing to let you cook, Bungie, but now here's my thing about Mountaintop. There's 2 ways we can spice this motherfucker up. A, just go the DU1 route with problematic things and make it an exotic, i.e. Fatebringer, and call it a day. Like, oh, we don't want to make it its own archetype. We don't want to make it its own origin trait, etc. Let's just cross an I and not T and make it an exotic and call it a day. Or let's do something wild and make Mountaintop a kinetic wave frame.
Oh, that'd be
Make
fun.
a kinetic wave frame as a way to translate it for a new age. That could be fun. It's an idea. I don't know.
I think it'd be cool.
I think at the very least, if they want to like, especially because that way they can tinker it a little bit more. If they want to make sure they don't have problems in the future, just make it an exotic. Like, make it an exotic and call it a day. Especially that they future proof it. It's easier to fix. But yeah, no. I will say I'm very excited. I think the biggest thing that had me excited about Shaxx is I've been so sick of Shaxx being on autopilot, like especially from a voice actor standpoint, at the tower for the longest time. The Crucible beckons Guardian. Like, you got anything else to say? Goddamn it! Like, I'm excited to see what you gonna say now.
FYI, I did have someone just correct me.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. They sent me a DM. They said, "Hey, I want to correct you on something you just said." So my apologies. Yes. Grenade launchers, breach loaders can roll with spike grenades.
Oh yeah.
So,
I don't know why.
But here's the thing: majority of the player base usually uses disorientating grenades on those, which is why it's never really considered.
That's true.
So,
yeah.
So looking at like Harden Our Dust. This is a good example. Okay, where you could use. Imagine this for Mountaintop. Either using disorientating grenades or spike grenades. You go from functionality to DPS.
But what if they made Mountaintop craftable?
Oh, dear God.
Oh, yes. Let's do it. Please.
Look,
I will have 4 of them.
I said we were going to discuss things, not give Bungie the plans for world domination at this point. Okay, fuck.
This is my game.
Hey, I'm just saying, like, we already know Blast Furnace is coming. If you give me craftable Blast Furnace, I'm gonna lose my shit. Like, I already said it.
They give us craftable freaking. They give us craftable Hammerhead. I swear to you right now, I will delete my freaking God roll freaking corrective measures.
I already said come Tuesday, if I see Hammerhead, I'm deleting both my commemoration on site. Like, it's already like it's already loaded. Like, commemoration can hit the bricks. We knew when Deepstone came out that commemoration was the Hammerhead replacement. Now we know it's the Hammerhead. Like, the King's coming back. Like, but the thing is, if I get like I already said it on my stream yesterday, if Blast Furnace comes back, I'm just gonna like retweet the freaking live stream with the Randy Marsh gif of him just in the chair, like it's over. It's over. Like I've been waiting for my baby to come home for too long. Blast Furnace will be king once again. I need it. Like because they try to tease me with the Val pulse. Like aggressive frames. Like I love my aggressive frame. They try to tease me with the Val pulse. Then Disparity came out, and Disparity was like right on the money. Like you're stasis, but you're not Blast Furnace. Like you shoot like Blast Furnace, but you're not Blast Furnace. So here in a minute, if my baby comes home, it's over for everybody. Like Midnight Coup's looking real weird though. Like especially because they said all these new weapons are getting new lore entries. I'm like, what are you doing, Shax? What kind of new things you cooking up in there? Because why was Midnight Coup banned and given a new coat of paint? I'm a little curious.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, nah, but like overall, like Ninja, how you feeling about what we've seen so far?
Like Onslaught game mode?
Yeah.
Do you ever play Gears 5?
Yes.
It reminds me a lot of Horde mode. So like you can, with the turrets and like the waves, and I don't know, it didn't really feel like there was much time in between the waves. I think they said
It really didn't feel like
30 seconds or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I'm beyond hyped because I'm a big Call of Duty zombie player. I'm a big Gears 5 Horde mode player. Those two, it feels like they're trying to combine those two with Onslaught, and I'm fucking here for it. Like let's go. I am so excited for this. Plus, I feel like it's a really good opportunity for me to like push my build crafting skills a little bit more because I've been crutching Strand and Solar really hard lately. I know. I love my green crayon, but like,
now have you tried the Fleshette Storm glitch in the GM yet?
No, I have not. I saw that.
Oh, it's so much fun.
I went in solo to the GM today to test it, and I got distracted. My friends were like, "Hey, you want to play some Trials?" And I was like, "Yeah." So
I mean, Trials was rough this past weekend. I will say, like, I went to the lighthouse yesterday, but like people were like, it's just auto rifle lasers right now. Like,
yeah. And I was getting crushed by a Matador shotgun. Oh, I was so mad. I was like, "You son of a."
Because Matador's been on top ever since they gave shotguns like intrinsic spreads, like precision frames. They're like Matador, Retold Tale, and the Stasis one from Season of the Lost have been like top dog for the longest time when it comes to that. But like in terms, what is your favorite Trials load as a Titan? I'm curious.
Right now, I run a bow. I'm a bow user. I know as a Titan, I should be running like shotgun, all that. I know, but I am a bow user. I'm big time. Like Wishender, Le Monarch, Point of the Stag. I love my Point of the Stag in Trials.
Okay.
It's weird, but
it's interesting.
As we say in my clan, I fucks with it. So
I fucks with it. Okay. All right. I just like a Titan with a bow. It sounds like foreign, very foreign. Like I like every once in a while you'll see me with like Wishender, but it's very rare. It's only because I hate that Wishender can one shot in PvP. It feels like it's unnatural. It feels very weird that it can do that.
Yeah. I prefer so when I was on console, it was Crimson and Point of the Stag.
Crimson.
I love Crimson. I do not like Crimson on M&K.
I will say,
don't like it.
The other reason why they said banned weapons, I'm like, especially because we just got the skimmers early, I'm wondering if Bungie might say fuck it and give us Red Death early.
Red Death?
Let's go.
Cajun, you don't know the beauty of Red Death? Sir. Sir, you're insulting the lady's intelligence. That is a beautiful machine right there. Like Red Death was the queen. Like you thought Crimson was a bitch. Red Death was the motherfucker. Like Red Death was the OG, and then they broke it in half and said, "Here's a hand cannon."
Yeah.
Like imagine Shadow Price dipped in blood with a blade on the end of it, and it's a pulse rifle. Like. That's what Red Death is. Like it's
cool.
It's so
It was so cool.
I'm about to be wrecking shit when that thing comes back. Like that's
the only gun you need, you're done.
That's why I love Crimson. Don't get me wrong, I love Crimson, but like Red Death was the OG. Like D1, Red Death couldn't do wrong. Like So like you want to get
okay. So it's from Destiny 1. See, for me, that's my biggest problem was that I never had a group that I was able to stay consistent with in D1. But the most time that I spent in D1 was around Taken King. And that was the only time I ever did a raid in D1. Was Taken King. That was it. Or sorry, King's Fall. So D2 has been like the most that I've had. So like when people talk about the legendary weapons and some of the exotics in D1 that haven't crossed over, it's like over my freaking head.
And I only know about it because my husband played D1. So he'll sit there and he'll tell me about the weapons that he used or like what was meta in D1. And I'm like, what is that? And then he like looks it up and shows me. And I'm like, oh, okay.
I just sent Cajun a picture of it. That way he can see the beauty that
Go
is
ahead.
Red
There
Death.
you go.
Like, oh,
there you go.
That's a beautiful machine right there. Like,
isn't that what got teased? That's going to be coming back.
Yeah, they already said Final Shape. It's coming back. So I'm like, if like since they gave us skimmers early, what if they just went like and Dragon's Breath was actually a part of the Final Shape showcase, and then they were like, hey, fuck it, delay. Here's Dragon's Breath for season of the Wish, and it's like, okay, so fuck it. So I'm thinking, hey, if Shaxx is cooking banned weapons, if you want the queen of all banned weapons, there you go, right there. Like that was the baddest bitch we had back in the day. So if they randomly just go, hey yo, Red Death, I'm not gonna complain. Like Blast Furnace and Red Death will be on a rotation. Let's go. This is gonna be what it is.
No kidding.
Like that's a bad bitch right there. So Cajun, what else about the showcase had you spinning? I'm curious.
So now someone brought this up, and I wanted to get y'all's take on this. So basically, someone started belly aching and like, oh, great, I'm gonna have to run content in which I'm locked to specific weapons because there's gonna be champions. Yeah, I saw the eye rolls from both of you, and immediately, and trust me when I say I saw the same thing. It's like, look, I can get creative with my loadouts. Okay, even right now, even in this season, I can get creative with my loadouts to where I'm not stuck with the same freaking weapons. Okay,
right.
For instance, before reset today, the Lost Sector was on Europa. Okay. And it was Overload and freaking Barrier. Okay, so first and foremost, Barrier's got so many freaking options.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I could have easily walked into that bitch. Rocking
just fucking Polaris Lance on a rocket. Like literally.
Oh yeah. But I didn't.
You got a point.
So first things first, in my primary slot, Forerunner. Okay. It's a great sidearm. It's special and it hits like a truck. Number 2, in my energy slot, I was rocking the bow, the GM bow. I've been using that nonstop.
Pre-Aspect fucking cooks, bro.
Like once you learn the rhythm for it, oh,
so beautiful, so beautiful.
Oh, it is. And then yes, I was running a rocket. I was running my Apex Predator, bipod reconstruction.
Bipod.
I'm gonna be honest. I was cooking even on Master. Now I will say this, Bungie, for the love of all that is holy, especially for all that is of the Traveler.
Okay.
Fix your motherfucking champions. Okay. Right now there's a glitch. It's not just ignition now. I'm seeing it in other forms of stuns. These bitches are teleporting. These bitches are moving after the stun. Because literally I stunned a freaking Overload champion with a Dragon's Breath. It teleported down to the freaking Vex Milk. I hit it with the Dragon's Breath. It literally a second later, it teleported right next to me, stunned, killed me with the flames from the Dragon's Breath. And all you heard, I know Ella was up at the time. I was like, oh, you fucking cheap bitch. And in that freaking same Lost Sector, I can't tell you how many times freaking the bear champ kept getting stuck underneath platforms.
Yeah.
Right.
To where it's protecting the enemy still, but you got no clear shot. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Yep.
the fuck, Bungie?
Okay, but here's my hot take, and I've been saying this ever since before 3.0 shit could stun champions. The whole point of high level content is to force you to do some shit you don't want to do.
Yeah.
I've been saying it ever since all we had was Bastion and Arianas and something else, and Le Monarch.
Yeah.
Like, I've been saying it for the longest motherfucking time that this is what you're supposed to do. You are supposed to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, and yet
Yeah.
people can't seem to wrap their brain around that. Granted, when the 3.0 shit came out, okay, cool, you have a few more ways to tinker your build and have some more fun, but you're supposed to be pigeonholed with high level content. You're supposed to have to fit the mold to do the job. Granted, I remember back during when Glassway first came out, there was room for your teammates to run one thing, you run the other thing, and then you run another person run the Wither Horde to hit the Hydra. But at the same time, that's why I make the joke so much that I want unstoppable wyverns, because there should be a way to challenge you and have to fight every level of content. That's why I miss the Warden of Nothing GM so much, because it made you roll in with all three damage types and pull up raid to square up. But nobody wants to do that. People don't like having to have their build be a certain thing, but it's the same thing as raids. You have to roll in. Like, to this day, for if you listen to speedrunners and solo players, they have to run raid mods to complete those challenges. If anything, there should be more emphasis on running raid mods, and you have an armor set per raid per raid. That way you can do the content. Hell, I remember when King's Fall first came back, the first week when people were still kind of power crept out of it to a certain extent because it was still kind of hard. The class item mod that made it so when you're taken, you take less damage from the freaking witches. Yeah. That was a great thing for newer players when you're sherping them, because you can just pay, hey, put your cloak on, or put your mark on, and put the mod on, and you're fine. And it was like, cool, this is a great thing. I think there should be more emphasis on having to run things for certain content and forcing people to get out of their comfort zone. And no one wants to do that, and it's frustrating.
So I'm going to say this. I do agree to you with an extent, but I've talked about this before in the podcast. The armor system within the game is so freaking jacked. It's not even funny. Because right now, in PvE, yes, there's an emphasis at least to get 100 resilience. But if you're using just whatever armor that comes out of the freaking raid, most of it's flat as fuck. Okay? It's like driving through Texas. It's flat as fuck. That's where honestly Bungie needs to address the armor system within the game and make looking at the raid armor actually worth a shit.
Yeah.
Like, when I roll into a raid, I should be seeing nothing less than a 63. And then on top of that, it should have some spike. It should have some damn good spikes to it.
Yeah.
To where me as an end game player, I can look at that and be like, you know what? I do need a freaking raid set for this raid. I'll save that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, to quote everybody else, give us more vault space.
At the point where I say 1,000 at this point. Like, 600 was cute, but 1,000 would be, because I'm at the point where, like, even for just armor, I'm so stacked when it comes to high stat armor. Like, it's more than my weapons at this point. Like, my armor amount has more in my vault where I'm at like 599 or 580-ish on an average basis, and it's not even like I'm a pack rat. I'm holding on to high stat armor for when like, say, Saint 14 helm finally gets reworked, or Doomfangs finally becomes worth my salt. Like, certain things that are worth making builds around. Hell, Quad King's farming for PKs. I'm farming for freaking Precious Scars rolls right now, because I'm trying to get the perfect Precious Scars. That way I'm future proof for any build. Because I saw someone running a Void Precious Scars build instead of a Solar one this weekend, and I was like, oh shit, we cooking? Okay, cool. Yeah. Like, I want that flexibility to have fun with certain builds, but because Bungie doesn't give me more vault space, I'm limited on what I can do to a certain extent. I'm having to hold shit and then take other shit out when I find better shit. And it's like, what?
I just pulled up my vault to see where I was at. I'm at 396 out of 600.
That's rare. That's very rare.
I said see ya to a lot of my weapons.
Oh,
Are
wow.
we really sharing our vault space?
I'm not sharing anything else.
I
other
know
than
I'm
that.
at, like, I'm about to say, I could pull up dim right now. I'm sitting at 600 max right now. Oh, so 598.
Okay.
Updated 598. I'm at 598.
Okay, he's slightly worse than me. 581.
Oof.
Okay, fair enough.
I need to go through and freaking start cleaning the house.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's the really big thing right now is that like we could like it's not even like I'm asking for the moon like I mean like what was this like one creator was asking for infinite vault space. I'm like, nah, dog, just give me like 1,000.
No.
1,000 like obviously you gotta handle your business and whatnot. Just give me 1,000 and I'll be happy. Like we're not asking for the moon or anything like that. Just be reasonable with me, Bungie. Like 600 was cute for 5 seconds, but now we're getting to the point where we gotta actually like cook with some gas.
To quote Yoshi P from Final Fantasy 16. If you want infinite vault space, you don't want to play a game.
Oh,
Because the back end requirement for that would literally break server databases.
Like Amazon and Google will be asking for more money from Bungie at that point.
Y'all don't understand a lot of the things that compose of servers and running these instances at most points are literally databases.
Yeah.
And databases have limitations.
Yep.
So when devs are saying, hey, we can't do XYZ, we know you want it, more than likely it's because of databases.
And it's like, they're not trying to be mean or anything. It's just straight up, hey, yo, we ain't got the space for it. Just work with us. We've hit a limitation.
Now, granted, it could be a couple of years down the road, and whatever database that they could be utilizing they could have some improvement that allows them to be able to increase, this one functionality such as vault space. Okay, cool. Now they've got it. And it's because, whatever software or however they've got it coded, now they can expand on that.
Yeah. All right. So Bungie kind of teased us with one more thing in the TWID because they did a run back of certain things that could be coming back. Hey, I said it before and I'll say it again. Bungie, I just grinded my ass off for this slammer and I got my eager edge roll, but I still haven't got my relentless bait and switch roll. So I'm a little annoyed about that. We still got till Tuesday, but I see Falling Guillotine here. If you dare to put Falling Guillotine on the board with eager edge, I will delete my other half on stream. And that thing is level 270 something. And because of how much I use it for content because I'm a void main. I don't give a fuck. If you put eager edge on Falling Guillotine, that was my favorite sword, and I still have mine in my vault. But it just can't compete with these Halo swords. If you give me my razor blade on a stick back, it's over for these Halo swords. I will do it on stream. But the other thing, Bungie, what do you think you're doing putting Luna's Howl back in the game? Because that looked kind of dangerous right there. That hand cannon looks kind of scary. The last thing I already bitch enough about how hand cannons rule PvP a little too much. The last thing I need is for Luna's Howl to be back in this game. Bungie, what are you thinking?
Come on.
It's like, come on, Bungie. It's enough slices with the freaking hand cannons.
I can't see what the Warlock's running, but like now if there's one weapon that y'all would want to see back for besides the Black Armory weapons, because we all want Black Armory. What's one weapon from the D2 life cycle that you'd want back from the grand update we're about to get here? Or the brave weapons, rather. The brave weapons.
I mean, me. I want my Black Armory shit back.
That I was gonna say, you just nixed the entire.
Well, because
set
we
of
know we're
weapons
getting
that I
it,
want.
so it's like,
but that's what
else
I want.
would you want?
Nothing.
Nothing, just that.
No, I just want that back.
Like I'm getting my falling guillotine back. I'm just praying that I get eager edge on it because I will. Them Halo swords will hit the trash can real motherfucking like quick, man. I tell you what, like I'm even looking at my vault right now or my dim, and my other half is level 292. That shit will get deleted on site. I don't give a fuck if they hit us Tuesday and say, yeah, guillotine's back. Now, here's my question. Do you think we're gonna see red borders, or do you think we're gonna see drops and engrams?
So if it's a permanent activity, I could see red borders.
Yeah.
But this goes back to the conversation of, we've had this discussion before. Do we still need to continue on with crafting weapons? And especially if this is going to be a permanent activity, this would be a case of no, it should not be.
Oh,
Look, I've talked about this before. When it comes to seasonal content, seasonal weapons, yes, they should be craftable. If we've
Fair.
got if we have the ability to target farm world loot weapons, they do not need to be craftable.
Okay.
If we have permanent access to the weapons, they do not need to be crafted. That goes for raids, that goes for dungeons, and dare I say, that goes for permanent activities.
Now, someone in chat just said red border dungeon weapons, and I disagree because as somebody who spent like 200 hours each on my Matador and my Forgiven, would I prefer things to be easier to obtain, i.e. I still haven't got my perfect rocket pistol yet? Yes, but similar to the raid situation where I still say that we shouldn't have red borders in raids, or at least they should be 10 instead of 5. We're losing replayability of the content because we're just giving people their god roll. Granted, one person can get a god roll on first run, someone can get it on their 50th, 70th, 100th, whatever the hell. It like the hamster wheel is shorter for certain individuals, but we're eliminating the hamster wheel entirely by just saying, hey, get 5 of these and you're done. And it just feels kind of weird. So I feel like if we like even with the fact that like Warlord's Ruin only has like one good legendary weapon, I still like its way to farm it is so easy. Why would you worry about it? Granted, would I prefer red borders for some dungeons, i.e. Ghost of the Deep, because that shit is long as hell? Yes. But I still gotta hold everyone to the same standard of we gotta be specific about what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Lower the drop rate for red borders in dungeons and raids. I just said we should lengthen it. Why would I want to shorten it? What?
I'm gonna tell you right now. For me personally, outside of anyone just needing to run Root of Nightmare, I don't have a reason to go back in there. I have zero.
I've been saying that for the longest time. I've been saying it for the longest time.
The only thing I have to run is the master in order to get adept versions. And that's because those adepts have the ability to get enhanced perks. And I've been advocating for that for some time. The enhanced perks should only have been given to adept weapons. But now that Bungie is starting to change that, and it looks like now they're going to give weapons the ability to get enhanced perks.
Yeah.
That now gives God roll non-craftable weapons a chance to fight against crafted weapons. And to me, that's a good fucking thing.
Ninja, you make a face. What are you thinking? I'm nervous. What are you thinking?
Okay, so you got a point about not needing to go back into Ron. Like I have all the red borders, I have all the weapons. I've done it on Master. I'm a Dream Warrior. I get it. I don't want to go back in. I don't give a shit about the weapons. Doesn't matter. But to me, the adept weapons could give a shit less.
Ooh. Why is that? I could
give a shit less. Because I don't feel like they make that much of a difference in DPS, in like PvP. Like, I don't feel like in my gameplay they make that much of a difference to where I need to go into master raids and get that stuff.
He makes a point.
So yeah, and that's valid. And this is where it's going to be kind of one of those case by case gun cases.
Yeah.
And also depending upon the perks. Now, the cool thing about, like for me, the cool thing about adepts, and we're also starting to see this with non-adept weapons, is we're getting more perk variety. Number one, meaning we've got like double perks in the 3 and 4 slot. That's, to me, that's something Bungie should have started doing a while back for all weapons.
Right.
Because at that point, you wouldn't have needed to go into the crafting system. At that point, you could have introduced enhanced perks, like let's say the following year. Because how awesome would it, it goes back to when you finally get the god roll, you're fucking ecstatic. You're freaking happy, right?
Yeah.
But how fucking ecstatic would you be is instead of having to run like this content for 2 sets of the weapon, one for PvE, one for PvP, you get it whiz bang in that one roll of it.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. I mean,
because now you got an adept that has, your PvP and your PvE rolls. So now you can slap on those adept mods. And they just up the ante even further.
But now here's the really dangerous thing though that I'm really worried about, because because Bungie already hinted at it last week. We're entering an era where certain weapons are going to, like, especially like the new 2 Trials weapons, the new 2 Iron Banner weapons, the new 2 Nightfall weapons are going to be able to be enhanced in final shape. What else is being made that way?
So
because it'd be real weird, man, if we entered an era where all these old Trials weapons couldn't be enhanced, but then Summoner Adept walks up and is like, I'm enhanced, motherfucker. Like, that'd be real concerning, especially with, like, everybody's bitching right now. I'm like, oh my god, we're back in an auto rifle meta. Imagine what happens in June if we can enhance them. What else is Bungie cooking that are we enhancing everything? Or are we enhancing some things? I'm worried.
So, considering that they're being selective with what they tell us, and like they've stated, like, oh, these weapons will be able to get enhanced in the final shape, I have suspicion that it's going to be a part of coding. They need to go back and they need to rework some of the weapons, and basically as they start refreshing and bringing weapons back after final shape, it's a matter of tweaking the code for that specific weapon to allow it to get enhanced perks. Whereas these weapons that they're listing right now, these are all either new or recently brought into the game weapons.
Right.
So I'm going to assume that these were probably coded for the new system that's coming in final shape. So, which is why they didn't come out and say, oh, all non-craftable weapons will be able to get enhanced perks. No, they started off with a certain amount. And then over time, it's going to be like, okay, we're going to build and build.
Right.
Okay.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense. I just I feel like we're entering the era of power creep deluxe if we just say, hey, yo, everything can be enhanced. Like, A, what's the material cost gonna be for that? And B, we're already in an era now where we're getting rid of legendary shards, which I still say that's a problem. And B, not everything can cost engrams, damn it. Like, the fact that I have to pay 5 engrams for an adept slammer right now at freaking Zavala is real frustrating. So why are we getting rid of legendary shards, Bungie? I'm getting tired of your shit.
Okay, so
You're wrecking your own economy.
Speaking about currency, Ninja, how many ascended alloys do you have right now? And same thing goes for you, Panda.
I have 13. I was actually at the Enclave earlier putting Guardian Gaze mementos on all the seasons of the Risen weapons. So I counted and I have 13.
So prior to that though, how many did you have?
Well, prior to, I'm gonna say straight up, prior to Guardian games, because literally every time you turn on a diamond, it gives you an ascended alloy. I had like maybe 9 or 10. I would think so. But now I went from like up to 19 down to 13 because I've been making more weapons for
Okay,
PvP.
so you were sitting at about 19 before you did your stuff today. Ninja,
Yeah.
what about you?
I have 17.
Damn.
Okay.
I'm a hoarder.
Can we remember a time prior to, like, I want to say before Season of the Wish, that we were sitting on this many ascended alloys?
Oh, bro, there was a point where literally people were
Ah.
waiting for Witch Queen mission rotations for
Yes.
the one mission to rotate in so we could farm it. Like,
Yeah.
I remember that shit. Like,
I was one of those.
Yeah. Freaking when Coil came out, that's when literally I started to have a freaking plethora of ascended alloys.
Mhm.
And I have a feeling that this is Bungie setting us up. Because I wouldn't be surprised, in order to get us enhanced perks, we're gonna need to spend ascended alloys.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, I see what you're throwing down. Okay,
Yep.
cool. Okay.
So this is just me kind of like foreshadowing something that I expect to see happening. I
Mhm.
would not be surprised if there's a cost outside of just masterworking the weapon.
Right. That would make
But-
sense.
Well, yeah, because it's like you said, it's enhanced perks. I can see them trying to compensate for the enhanced perk, saying, "Hey, you need to spend at least one alloy to get these better perks." So
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah.
And also, just out of curiosity, how's everybody doing on a freaking enhancement course? Because I
can actually.
just-
I'll go
I
ahead. Go
just
ahead.
freaking I loaded up Destiny 2 today to finish off one of my grinds. And when I was in my inventory, I had a little thing saying, "Oh, you got something new." And I was like, "What the fuck?" I had my first stack of over 1,000 enhancement cores.
So funny
And
thing
I was
about
like-
that, I'm
I was
hurting
like,
for
when the
enhancement
fu-
cores right now.
Yeah.
And I've never, in the history of Destiny, I've never had over 1,000 enhancement cores. I was like, what the
Mm-mm.
fuck?
I'm actually hurting for enhancement cores, and I was actually looking at how many prisms I have. That way, I can blue farm after the stream because because the thing about it is, especially recently preparing for Final Shape, I've been doing a lot of armor prepping, a lot of trying to get as many high stat armor rolls as possible, and then and whenever I get a good roll of something, I'm like, cool, now we're gonna go back and do this, or with new crafted weapons that I'm going back. Like recently, I went back and recrafted Thoughtless from Season of the Risen because it's been kind of a sleeper pick for trials, if you know what I mean. And like, cause
Yeah.
Stasis Sniper is kind of clutch. But like, also, there's just certain things that I've been doing with cores where I just like didn't have a lot, but this, because of Guardian games, I went from like 20 to 100 recently, and then back down to like 50, and then I ran a couple rounds of trials and reset Shax a few times, and then I'm back up to like 70ish. But it was a minute where I was at like 13, and I'm like, this is the feel good. Like especially with the prophecy weapons coming out, it was like, cool. Now I have to masterwork this role and try it out and see how it looks with max stats and yada yada, and it's just so like it's like, I think cores are, especially because Cajun, I think you're in a position with cores because you're not playing as much. You've been over at Camp Square Enix for a few weeks. You don't know how it feels to be broke on cores.
But here's the thing: even before I started playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I've been sitting on a lot of cores for some time, and that's because I've been doing a shit ton of freaking activities, especially Coil. I won't lie, Coil's been cooking. Even though I've got all the red borders, going and doing that has felt a little bit more rewarding than doing some of the GM runs. The only reason to do some of the GM runs has been just to get specific weapon rolls.
That's fair. I will say GMs have been nice this week, especially with this weird Flechette Storm glitch. It's been nice to catch up on my ascended shards, because I was broke on ascended shards for a hot minute. Because truth be told, like other than like I was just spending them nonstop on, especially now I'm able to put them towards focusing exotics. I'm burning through more exotics than normal, trying to get the right rolls of certain things, to prep for Final Shape, because like I'm trying to get a good Precious Scars. I'm trying to get this and that, and it's like, because truth be told, I'm praying with Final Shape that Bungie finally like because there's some other exotics like Saint 14 Helm and whatnot that need Bungie to cook a little bit more. I think especially with us getting 3 new light supers, we need Bungie to cook with every exotic they can. That way, when we're gonna enter an era of we don't have a lot of updates coming right now, you future-proof your shit. Because if you don't, it's gonna be a situation of we don't have an answer for, hey, you kind of buff Doofang pauldrons to do this, but the rest of the exotics kind of ask, can we fix this? No. We're busy. Go away. We're working on Marathon. Go away. We're fighting with Sony. Go away. And it's like, so I'm like, I'm hoping they fix that.
Honestly, I'm in this weird conundrum as a player where I do have that there's that part of my tism that's like, oh, I'm kind of like you. I want to freaking future proof. I want to set things up. But then there's that chaotic ADHD gremlin. It's like, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. Roll in there and let's see where the dice rolls. And it just be like, make do. Because it's like right now I'm setting myself up. I'm probably gonna have, I'm not shit. Before we roll into Final Shape, both Warlock, Titan, and Hunter, they're gonna have max freaking exotic engrams. I'm gonna try and max out their freaking my vault space, not my vault, my mail with as many exotic engrams as possible. Just so that it's like, oh, you want to buff and change or nerf some freaking exotics? Haha, fuck you, Bungie.
I think you just have PTSD from day one raid day, Mr. My Foe Tracer was turned off. I think you just have PTSD.
Fuck yes, I do. Fuck yes, I do.
What happened was he had like 5 builds prepped, like Banner of War Titan, Foe Tracer, this, and then Bungie went, so here's the list of things that are disabled, and he was just like, well,
oh no, they started disabling on Tuesday. Then the next day disabled another thing. Then fucking Thursday, I was like, fuck you, goddamn.
It was so traumatizing for the poor boy. Like he walked in with his Warlock on day one, like this is all I got, and I'm like, well, this is what we got now. All right.
But you do gotta admit, Vesper Radius did come in clutch.
Cooked. Vesper cooked. Like I'll be the first one to say it. That thing put in work, because to this day, with how so many people struggle with freaking with lanterns because they can't stop panicking about the thrall clawing at their butt cracks. They legitimately. Bro, tell me I'm wrong. We've done so many runs in Sherpas where people are like, "Oh my god, I can't keep up. The thrall, they're in my ass." And
okay,
like,
I still get people giving me shit because in the years that I've been playing Destiny 2, I never looked up in the fucking corner of my screen on my death screen and noticed that Thrall melee was fucking arc damage.
I do.
I never thought that, oh, this dude that just came up and bitch slapped me into fucking oblivion possibly had arc damage attached to it. I never would have thought.
Yeah, that's why I had a melee and arc resistance on day one.
Until someone pointed out that, yeah, dude, it's because of the way their hands are glowing. And I was like, bullshit. They're like, put on Wrist Runner, you'll see.
Yeah, yep.
I knew day one. I was like, yeah, arc resist, melee resist, let's go.
All right.
And it's like I told people that day. It's like, look, just because I can sit there and put a build together, just because I can freaking, info dump on how's the best way to do something, does not mean I know absolutely everything in the game, and I will miss the blatant fucking obvious.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Same.
All right. So before we get into the serious topic of the afternoon, like someone asked a question in chat. Here's a question: do you think that speedrunning raids can be both a good thing and a bad thing? Yes. I wholeheartedly. Well, speed running, no. Speed running through with like during a Sherpa and being a dick to new players, yes. Because if you're speedrunning, quote unquote, you know what you're getting into. You know what you're doing. You're trying to go through. If you're glitching, you're a butthole. That's just my thing. I don't think oobing and glitching should be allowed in speedrunning content because I'm a stickler for the rules, but that's just me. Granted, it might be in a dick and using Flechette Storm this weekend, yeah, but Bungie will patch that in like 5 minutes, so that's no big deal. I already future-proofed my builder for that. But in terms of like teaching and rating, one thing that I always remember from teaching a vow one time was we had someone leave because of an emergency. We hit up the LFG, someone came in, and a warlock was just fucking well skating through the whole jumping puzzle while we're trying to teach someone how to do it, and then they went and clicked and pressed, "Hey guys, all the puzzles are done," and it was like, bro, we're trying to teach this person. Why would you do that? And then when I said that, they left, and it was like, bro, you just ruined this entire experience for somebody. Why would you do that? So that's why I would say, like, during speed running, no, but during teaching and like helping somebody, yes, speed running can be problematic.
Yeah.
I am definitely of the opinion there's a time and a place for it.
Yes.
Yes. If someone says, hey, we're looking for a speed run, we're looking for people to do speed running. Okay, cool. Activate that freaking gremlin mode. Go cracked out like nobody's business and speed run the living hell out of it. Have fun. You do you, boo boo.
Yeah.
But if I'm sitting here doing a Sherpa run or just a casual run at best, just a run of the mill LFG. I need every single speedrunner to put in that let's read the room moment. Because y'all like to claim that left and right. Well, read the room. Okay, how about you read the room? It works both ways. Assume that LFG is not speedrunning. And it's just a simple thing of, hey, are y'all okay with speedrunning? Ask the fucking questions. Y'all like to harp on the freaking new people saying, hey, you should ask questions. Same thing for you, you goofs.
Yeah.
Because I've had to kick a couple of speedrunners too. Because they'll go out of bounds and next thing you know, they're stuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
And freaking the only way is for all of us to go to orbit. Because no matter how many times they go out of orbit and come back in, they're still stuck.
Yep.
Used to piss me off.
Yeah. And that's like when I am teaching a raid, that's the first thing I do because I'm the Sherpa, but I'm asking the noob or whatever, like, okay, what is your build? What are you comfortable with? Have you watched a video? Like, how fast do you need this done? Like, do you want to learn the mechanics? Do you care about the mechanics? Or are you just wanting the clear? Like, ask the fucking questions. It's not hard.
Oh no, see you better than me. If you show up to a raid with me, you're doing something. I don't give a fuck. Like we don't play act clear in my house.
That's what I prefer. Like if you're wanting to learn a raid with me, I want you to learn the mechanics. However, there was one female Destiny player that wanted to learn the raid, but she was like, I learn best by watching it being completed and listening to you explain the mechanic first, and then run me back through the raid and make me do the mechanics. But give me that first clear where I'm watching and listening to you.
So I will say this. I am kind of the same way. I've had to teach myself how to mentally think. Like when I'm watching a YouTube video on how the whole thing is going to be cooking at the same time. But there are some times, depending upon the instance, depending upon the content, where my mind can't wrap around it, and going in there and experiencing it is going to provide me that last bit of freaking couple of gears to allow things to click and go. And so I understand as a Sherpa, some people are geared to that. So absolutely.
Though I also want to give a tip though. Always be comfortable with changing the way you explain things, or even asking, is there a better way I can explain something? Perfect example. We were doing day one Ron, and I had been on ad clear the whole time. I was like, yo, you ain't got to worry about shit. My bill's put together. I will murder everything. Just focus on getting this done so we can get out of here. Like, my Thunder Crash build was on point. Like, I had Forbearance, I had Thunderlord, I had my Scout Rifle, I had
Yep.
I had grenades for days, even with Curus on. Like, we were going ham. But then there was a point where we traded out somebody from an LFG, and they're like, "Yo, we need you to do this." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Break this down for me." I understood everything about planets. I knew I heard everything they said, but then it was part 2 of setting up for DPS, and where you only need
Yep.
3 out of the 4 balls. And I'm
Yep.
like, and I kept asking them, what decides who grabs what? And they didn't understand what I was saying. I'm like, who grabs the dark balls? Who grabs the light balls? Yada yada. And they couldn't understand what I was trying to say. They kept explaining it like bass backwards and whatnot. And I was like, hold up,
No.
let me go ask Fallout. Let me watch Fallout's video, and I'll be back in like 5 seconds. Okay, wait and checked out Fallout's video, and he was like, "Yo, anybody can grab the balls." I'm like, why didn't you motherfuckers just say that? And they're like, "Oh, we didn't get what you were trying to ask." Sometimes breaking things down in a different format can be very helpful for some people. But the thing about it is, some people are afraid to ask for you to try something different. And I'm like, because I'll even be like, "Hey, is there a different way I can explain this?" Because it seems like you're struggling. And some people are afraid to ask, because one thing that I keep finding with Sherpa groups is so many people are afraid to be kicked. And it's like, bro, I get you have that PTSD, but you're not leaving. Let me help you get through this, but you have to work with me. You have to meet me in the middle. And if you can't meet me in the middle, we ain't getting this done.
Yeah. I was teaching a new player last week or recently, and at one of the encounters, I was like, "Does that make sense?" And he was quiet for a second, and I was like, "You're not, I get you." And he's like, "I'm so sorry. Please don't kick me." And I was like, "Dude, I am not going to kick you. Let me explain it a different way, and maybe you'll understand it." And he was like, "Okay, yeah." So it takes 5 seconds to ask that question, but it also takes, the noob speaking up for themselves and saying, "Yeah, I don't understand what you're saying." So, two-way street. Like, if you want, you got to talk.
Yeah,
it'd be like that. It truly do. Like I hate that we have that stigma, and the fact, and like I hate to bring this up, but the fact that the Galahorn or kick method has bled over into other games, i.e. Helldivers, kind of sucks. That like we're being to blame into the nonsense because of the culture our community cultivated. That sucks like horribly. So. I very much want to encourage people, hey, if you got something, like if you don't understand something, ask it. If you see somebody not understanding something, ask them if they need a different breakdown.
Yes.
That's the one thing I would want to advocate for. All right, now.
Well, and don't be afraid to like say, "Hey, I don't have that weapon." So like in Deepstone Crypt, I'll make it short. I know we're trying to move on, but like in Deepstone Crypt,
no. This is like I even asked the chat, like, "Hey, does anyone have any more questions before we go to the deep topic?" Because I'm about to get real blood with people in a second. Like I already did it on TikTok once this week. We gonna get to it again. It's gonna be
right.
So go ahead and talk to him.
So when you're in a raid and say the Sherpa says, "Hey, on the fuses for Deepstone Crypt, I need you to use Xenophage." Most of us know what that is. It's that slug machine gun that you just melt those fuses.
Right,
I love it. You can one phase that encounter. Perfect, right? If they don't speak up, they'll just use whatever they have. And sometimes, like, I don't know, Thunderlord, right? And the shock activates a different fuse. And then you're stuck wondering what the fuck just happened. Like, when you're teaching encounters, as I'm going to say, like, as a kind Sherpa, say, "Hey, do you know what that weapon is? Do you have this weapon?" And if they say no, so that's okay. Do you have XYZ? Do you have one of these 3 other weapons that'll do the same thing? It may not be perfect. It may not be that speed run meta, but fucking give them options so they don't feel like they have to have every single exotic in the game just to run a raid.
See,
Yep.
I'm the same way, but because Xenophage is my favorite exotic heavy in the game, I'm that bitch who will be like, "Hey, cool. The minute we're done with this, you're coming to the
Right.
moon because I don't like
Right.
that. Like you don't have my child. We have a
Right.
problem."
Yeah. You're saying,
Like,
hey,
I
this
don't care
this
if-
is where you
like,
can get
I
that
just-
exotic. This is how you get it. Like,
funny story, like a couple days ago, I was playing comp with Quad King. He had the audacity to tell me he had never got Xenophage before. I was like, brother, if you don't get back in my party right now, I am taking your ass to the moon.
fucking
Like,
go.
it was on sight. Like, we are leaving. We are going to the moon. It was on sight. So, it was like, I don't do PvE. I do PvP. I'm like, that's not an excuse. We're doing this.
Go. We're getting it right now.
All right, one last question before we dive into things.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm about to freaking be like, hey, Ferrum, can we talk for a second? You better show me everything as far as your account, because I'm gonna tell you right now, if you don't have freaking quests done, if you don't have exotics, bitch, I'm dragging you.
Yeah. Okay. So one more question before we dive in. What is the most beginner friendly raid? I will say to this day,
Rude Nightmare.
No. Surprisingly enough, Vogue. Vogue is the most friendly, beginner-friendly raid. If it ain't Vogue, it's Deepstone. I will die on that hill because both Vogue and Deepstone teach you how to do a mechanic without overcomplicating things. If you give somebody Vow, their head's gonna explode. If you give them Last Wish, their head's gonna explode. You give them Garden, Gambit's gonna make them have an aneurysm. Like, if you give them Vogue and just say, "Hey, go over there, kill the chicken when it shows up, and don't step in the pool of Vex goop." Cool, good job. Hey, shoot this Oracle when we tell you to, or just clear ads while I use my Xenophage. And that's the one time I will ever advocate for ad clear, because Xenophage kills Oracles like nothing else. And then for boss DPS, it's like, hey, do you have a linear? Do you have this? Do you have that? Yada yada yada. Cool. Mars and Venus isn't too hard to explain. Atheon, as long as you walk them down the entire walkway and explain this room is the same in both planets, just walk it the same way. Vogue is the easiest raid to explain. With Ron, it's like, hey, I gotta play connect the dots and do this and light and dark and yada yada and step in this and do this and yada yada. And planets is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or ketchup, mustard, yada yada, or whatever the hell you want to explain it. Like Ron can be complicated for a new player, but for Vogue, it's just done.
Speaking about complications, first off, I got to give a shout out to Sammy Cat Plays. This week I've been in her streams while I was at work, freaking watching her do her solo attempts.
Oh no.
Instead of numbers, she's got the locations as Pokemon.
I love it. I love it.
Only Sammy could come up with that. I'm like, good Christ.
As somebody who has like all 1,000 Pokemon memorized, that would give me a headache. Like that. Like that would drive me nuts. I'm like, wait a minute, Bulbasaur's over here. Yada. Oh wait, Bulbasaur's behind me. Okay, cool. We're
okay, we're good now. So, and I know you're not gonna like this, JP. I teach Last Wish as my first intro raid. I'm that asshole. I'm like, you want to learn raids? Last Wish, let's go.
You try to hurt people, okay?
I do, because I want them to understand that raids are not to be fucked with. Like, if you want to learn raids, you're gonna fucking do something, and you're gonna learn it, or you're not raiding with me.
Now for me,
and that's rude, but I do that.
I'm gonna say this. To me,
now do you do legit Riven or cheese?
Oh
Riven?
fuck no, I cheese that shit. Cheese it.
That's funny.
We're cheesing it.
see, for me, Ron is the easiest. But like
it
for
is.
intro to raiding, I gotta go with Deepstone.
Deepstone's great.
And I'm gonna say this. Outside of the Atrax cheese, let's be honest, even doing it regular is not overly difficult.
Right. Like
Especially-
all you explain is, hey, you'll walk over to this airlock. Otherwise, it's just juggle the balls till you're done. It ain't that hard. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Now, jumping puzzles might give people a little bit of a heart attack, but like otherwise,
Yeah.
The only good thing with that jumping puzzle is the music.
yes.
The music is just
I love
it's
that
calming.
music. Very. Very. So I'll teach Last Wish, I'll teach Deep Stone Crypt and Ron. Those are my top 3. Like if you want to learn raids, the first 3 that I'll teach you. Like if you can get
Okay.
those 3 down, you can understand how to jump in on mechanics. You can understand when to communicate, when not to communicate. I'll do Val like Vogue, but I'll do it with you. Like, but if you can get like Last Wish, Ron, and Deep Stone, you're good.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. Now let's go ahead and dive into what is going to be the not the best for most people. Trigger warning if you're not down with racism, but I'm gonna get that one out the way real quick. Destiny community, what the fuck? Like that's the abridged version of my video of the day. Instead of me yelling, I'm gonna do it that way. And yes, I know commenters. I forgot about Ikora and Saladin. I was pissed. I was ranting. Don't worry about that. Like the point is, the issue at hand is that during the dev live stream, people thought it was real cute to when dude tabbed out to show like to start friend requesting him on Steam with changing their name to racist slurs, to unalive himself, yada yada. And I am so appalled still by this community. Like I don't care if you still have a hard on for Twilight Garrison. I don't care if you really want to ride Callus's nuts at Leviathan. Like, there's no reason you should be doing this to somebody. And it's just like, it's so ridiculous that people think this is okay. And especially, like I said earlier this week, you have Savathun voiced by Deborah Wilson. You have Zivu Arath voiced by Kimberly Brooks. You have Ikora, who's literally on the front page of Bungie.net right now for advertising Final Shape. You have Saladin. You have Zavala being voiced by 2 of the best black voice actors in history. Like, you have so many characters of people of color in this game, and yet you have queer characters, 2 of the most powerful PvP players, or like who run the best PvP mode in the game, Satan Osiris, who are queer in the game. And it's like, y'all keep doing this shit with the racism and the homophobia, and it's just like, when are y'all gonna learn that this ain't the vibe? Like, the same shit happened with fucking Nimbus. The same shit's happening now, where you think bigotry in a game that's more diverse than you would think ever is okay. And it's just like, how do we penetrate the skull of don't be stupid? Like, and like, it's the way you were brought up, cool. That's no problem. Like, if you racist, cool. But you would think, if I'm racist, why do I want to play the game where the leader of the Warlocks is a bald black woman? If I'm a Titan and I'm racist, why do I want to listen to a voice that's voiced by 2 black individuals? Like, or hell, I'm a racist, but I love me some Iron Banner, but I don't want to run with this black person. Like, where's the thought process? Where's the logic? Like, I felt like as a black person myself, I needed to start that off the conversation, because it's just, it doesn't make any rational sense that we keep playing this game. Like, how do we put 2 and 2 together of, I'm this way, but I'm gonna keep playing this game? Like, it's the same people who play Apex, but they're upset that Bloodhound is non-binary and half the roster is queer anyway. Like, y'all act like you're gonna be upset but still play the content. Like, it doesn't make rational sense. Like, all these people that are like, oh my god, gaming's gone woke. Bitch, we've been woke since we got here. What are you talking about? Like,
we've been woke since the freaking 80s and 90s. Where the fuck have you been? Seriously, I'm gonna say that full out. I'm 43 freaking years old. All right, freaking, I was amongst the freaking OGs in gaming that were getting freaking bullied and harassed because I like freaking comics. I like freaking Star Trek, Star Wars, freaking playing video games. I used to get bullied all the goddamn time, and guess what? Now here I am, 43. I'm seeing gaming that is now mainstream. and more widely accepted than ever. Geek culture is more widely accepted than ever. And yet here we are within our own community, freaking gatekeeping, being complete and utter pieces of shit. Why? What does it hurt to have more people included? Okay? If you want your freaking, He-Man woman hating club, I'm pretty sure you can find a dark corner of the fucking web where you can have that fucking group and y'all do about yourselves, whatever. I don't fucking care. But when you start hurting the overall community, it's like, dude, you are now the fucking problem. You are absolutely the freaking problem. And what happened on stream with Noah, now at first it was just simple friend requests. But when you started seeing the assholes pop out with the freaking horrendous names, yeah, that was bullshit.
Yeah.
That was uncalled for. Noah was taking time. The devs were taking time out of their freaking workload to showcase this new activity for Into the Light. And yet you're going to sit here and harass, but then most of y'all want to sit there and bitch. Oh, they don't talk to us. Yeah. Excuse me? Why do you
wonder why?
Why do you think? I don't know. Maybe it's because y'all have threatened and harassed devs so many fucking times to where Bungie's legal team had to set a legal precedent in the state of Washington.
And sue a motherfucker.
Okay? For freaking close to $500,000.
And like, to be fair,
y'all want to keep up in the ante. Well, guess what?
We gonna keep playing ball. Like,
guess what? So, FYI, for those that didn't know, every one of the little shit stains that decided to freaking, we're gonna, change my name to XYZ, they ended up getting banned.
IP banned.
Yeah. So not only that, this is from the actual Reddit thread. So someone posted a Reddit thread about the whole incident. And then Noah even responded.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And I'll get to Noah's comment, but here we go. Let me see if I can pull up the actual. This was Destiny the team's Reddit account responding to this overall thread. It was disappointing to see those notifications, but we know they were from a few awful individuals and not reflective of the community at large. We were able to track down the accounts of several individuals who sent the harmful notifications, and we have banned them from Destiny 2. So some people did some research, looked into the accounts. They were full on VAC banned. Meaning that their account can never have any access to Destiny 2. Yo. So it was full on ban.
Good.
And not only that, yes, I would not be surprised if they were IP and hardware banned by Bungie. And to me, kudos, Bungie.
Now, granted.
Now, since then, I've seen some other accounts that have been not, I'm going to say good accounts, that since that dev stream have logged into Destiny and they've been getting notifications that reports have been taken action on. And for some of these people, these reports have been mostly harassment. So I think Bungie, it's about fucking time you address this problem.
Which is wild because I've been called every slur in the book. I've had people just insult me. The reason why I got big on TikTok was because I made a freaking post talking about how literally in Trials of Osiris, the mode themed around gay characters, I was straight up being called the F slur while wearing the Pride emblem. And I'm like, wow, It's real weird you want to play a game full of F slurs when it's like it don't make no sense.
Yeah.
The rationale doesn't make sense. But it's like I'm black, I'm queer, Cajun's like Cajun's the cishet white man. Like especially Ninja for you being the woman in the room, especially with gaming being as toxic as it is. Like it's got to be rough for you when it comes to a certain extent. When it comes to, even in this game, I know I have it rough. Like how does it go for you when it comes to this?
I don't ever open up my voice comms ever on Destiny. Like I haven't since Call of Duty days. Like I grew up on Call of Duty. I'm used to all of the words. I'm used to it. But it sucks when it's coming from a community like Destiny because I care so much about Destiny and there's so many good people out there that when those comments do come in, like even when I'm live on Twitch, the shit you see on Twitch. It's awful. But it's like they said, it is not reflective of the community as a whole. That is not the entire Destiny community. That is a very small percentage. And I'm really, really, really glad that Bungie is finally like just getting rid of them.
And
honestly,
I'm gonna say this to those that try to deflect and say, "Oh, the harassment wasn't that bad. Oh, y'all are just blowing it up." And especially to the people that sit there and say, "Oh, you would less in the OG Call of Duty games." Motherfucker, I grew up in those goddamn streets. Okay.
Same.
I built those fucking streets. And let me tell you, yes, you had the one-offs of fucking assholes that would say those type of things, but they would get immediately fucking clowned on.
Oh yeah.
For fucking saying that shit. And I'm gonna tell you right now, okay, back in those days, over a fucking decade ago, it was actually more accepting of women to be in those freaking lobbies versus right now. Like some of the shit y'all are going about and saying right now, no, it's nowhere near the level of bullshit.
Well,
that
what
was
blows
back
me
then.
away. What blows me away about that is the fact that like the way you like that statement always bugs me. You wouldn't survive in the Call of Duty, bitch. I was there back during like MW2, MW3. When you would call me the ER, I would straight up pull you into a private match and quick scope you till you shut up. Like that's what I used to do to people. But the problem is, I got so tired of it that it was like, why do I keep having to put up with this?
Yeah.
And I went to other games, and it's like you would. And the problem with that statement also is like you act like that's okay. That we had it like that, that we did things like that, that like you openly tried to make it where I didn't want to be here or Ninja didn't want to be here. Like you acted like this is okay to do. And it's like, we should be trying to go forward, not backward. And it's just like, Lord.
Yeah, like why does it matter that I'm a girl and I'm playing a game? Why does my gender or the way I identify, why does that matter when we're playing a video game?
It doesn't. It absolutely, and that's what blows my fucking mind. It doesn't matter. I know some some women that are fucking fantastic gamers. Okay.
Hey.
And you know what? I'm gonna give you one of the best examples out there. If you've never heard of her, Tactical Grandma.
Oh my gosh, yes.
She's a Call of Duty Warzone streamer. She's up there. She's literally a grandma. And she is fucking giving forehead kisses like a motherfucker.
She's amazing.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, I dare you to go talk some shit to that woman.
Oh,
that's gonna be your ass, brother.
I love her TikToks on that stuff. It makes my day when she like talks crap back or she like completely just shows them their ass, like hands it to them, and then they're like, oh, it's like, fuck off.
Bye, bitch.
Fuck off.
It's wild to
me. Oh yeah. And it's just like, how hard is it to, we're all enjoying a freaking game. We're all enjoying this game. How hard is it to just be accepting that somebody else is on the other side? Like, look, if you want to talk about trash talking, be like, hey, man, you got to use an AR, use a little bit of skill, Okay, trash talk about a build, someone's build.
Yes.
Trash talk about using a weapon. Okay, no big deal. Keep the slurs out of the freaking game. Okay, if you've got to immediately attack someone because their skin color, because of their
Mm-hmm.
race, because of their gender, because of their
Mm-hmm.
sexuality.
Yes.
I'm gonna say it right now. You a bitch.
Yeah.
You looking
You
pretty
weak-
maidenless right now,
you-
homie. You
you
looking real
1v1
good.
me, ho. 1v1 me.
weak-
Let's
you
go.
weak-minded bitch.
Yeah. Yep.
It'd be rough. It'd be rough.
Eh,
But like, yeah. But we just need to do better. Like, especially
Yeah.
with Final Shave coming up, or just gaming progressing as a whole. We need to do better. Like, honestly, and it's
And
just
I'm gonna throw this out
Mhm.
there. And I've been wanting to fucking say this for a bit.
let's go.
Because this also brought up this whole situation brought up something when it comes to other content creators. Look, I know I'm small in the fucking spectrum as far as content creators, but content creators, I'm gonna say this: stop using the fucking excuse that we're not responsible for our communities. Bullshit. You
Yeah.
are the fucking role
Yeah.
model of your community that you are building. So if you allow intolerant, racist assholes,
Mm-hmm.
then you yourself are a prime example of an intolerant, racist asshole.
I've
Yeah.
banned
Stop it.
people for that before.
I'm sorry, you've got a fucking piece of shit in your community. Exile his ass.
Well, what's
Get rid of
funny?
it.
What's funny is the fact that like literally the dude who came into my stream when we were doing those Fatebringer carries and did what he did with the ER spamming at the VC, like he's been featured in creators' videos on Twitter, and like that, like just because his takes, and like nobody knows that like dude's doing the shit. They're just okay with him being a part of the Destiny community, and it's like I've spoken about it before. I've told people, but it's like y'all keep it shows the company you keep at the end of the day. You
Mhm.
reflect the company you keep. That's why literally we had somebody in the podcast clan that was like cracked. He was the hunter that you could trust up until the Fletchette glitch came out this past week. He was the dude that you could trust to go against Sadia. He was that dude that would be there for any kind of content. But the more toxic he was, the more like around us he was, he showed his true colors. And it got to the point that we had to straight up be like, yo, dude, we got to part ways. We respect you as a player. We respect you for who you are, but you need to not be around us because of what you're doing. And it was like, cool. That's what it is. And not enough people are doing that. Granted, do those the individuals go then and create their own toxic communities? Like yesterday at Trials when I saw a Trump-themed clan? Yes. But that doesn't mean we need to keep condoning the behavior. Let them be gremlins in their own space if at the end of the day. Like, if they want to be gremlins, let them be gremlins. Like, it be like that. So, it very much is a situation of we need to do better and not enough people are doing better.
Yeah.
So, like, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up there. Ninja, you are our guest. How do you want to, like, what is your closing statement for this episode?
Oh, what?
We always have guests go first. It's a tradition. You were here last week.
What here? I was, but I'm a mom too, so I was doing the mom thing. And, shit. I don't know. I am excited for where Destiny is going. I'm excited for April 9th, 8th, 9th, 9th. Thank you. Super excited for that. Very excited for where Destiny is going. Again, I do want the Destiny 2 community to do better. Be better. Like, we're moving forward with some content. We're going into the fucking future. Let's go into the future with our game, please. Like, let's be gamers. That's what we are. At the end of the day, we're gamers, and that is the only thing that matters. So
respect. Cajun, how do you want to leave the people?
So I think I need to drop this little bit of wisdom and advice to some gamers out there, because I definitely saw this sentiment during the freaking dev live stream, and I saw it on Twitter, and we all know that that's becoming a fucking cesspool of hate right now. But I need to give a friendly reminder. Okay, this video game is fucking optional in your life. It's 100% optional in your life. You're not dependent upon it. You're not, it's not a thing that must be consumed. So with that being said, if you do not enjoy the direction that the game's going, if you do not like the content that the devs are bringing to the game, find another game. Find another game. Seriously. It's
not
like,
enough people know how to let it go.
No. And for those that want to come into people's content creators' comments and keep screaming the whole dead game and this is why I left, blah, blah, blah. Good. Bye. Good. Bye. That's all I'm going to say from here on out. It's like, goodbye. And if you want to keep freaking regurgitating it, I've got to the point in my life as a content creator, you're not worth my time.
You're
Just
not
catching worth my time. It's like you're just going to catch a block, and I don't give a shit what your mama's daddy's freaking excuse of a freaking bullshit you want to come at me with to justify your shit behavior. And that's what it is.
Yeah.
If you're that tired of Destiny 2, move the fuck on.
Yeah.
Do something else. Go touch some grass. Go eat ass. I don't give a fuck.
That's a hobby I can get behind.
All right, folks. All right. I at the very least, as somebody who's been gaming since I was wee young, I remember playing Rugrats on the PS1. Damn it! Like, we've been doing this for a long time, and yet we still keep acting like stuff is this way, and it doesn't have to be. I remember the Game Awards, and I'm still so excited for this game that it's coming out soon. I remember the Game Awards where the dude who voiced Bayek of Siwa in Assassin's Creed Origins came out on stage and told people about his new indie game that he's making, Tales of Kenzera, and how excited he was to make a game about his culture and dedicated to his father. And that game was so powerful of a statement. And yet, people still don't want people of color, queer voices, women to have a voice in this space. And it's like, why can't you evolve as a human being? Why can't you evolve as a person and do better? And it baffles me. Like acceptance, like it should have been the jump from day one, and yet we're still here. Like, I remember back when like the N64 was the thing. I used to watch my brother freaking have pixelated The Rock fight pixelated Stone Cold, and it didn't matter whose race was who. We just played the video game and moved on. Like, but for some reason now, when we're starting to have more things about progression in characters of color and stuff like that, now it's a problem. And I'm wondering, why is it a problem now when just because there's more of it, when before, when there was a little bit of it, it wasn't a problem? Like, the math's not mathing, and we gotta make the math. So beyond
no math,
just
no crayon.
Normally I would agree with you, but the math needs the math on this one.
No.
All right, folks. Don't forget, folks, you can listen to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, all those great places. Because apparently Google Podcasts is going away at the end of the month and being integrated into YouTube. I found that out yesterday. I got an email about it. I thought it was kind of funny. But this podcast will be up, edited. Not like probably Monday. It'll be up Monday. The past 2 episodes are available now. Had a couple things happen personally that delayed that, but they are up. But they will be live on Monday for you. But the live version is still kind of on on the VOD if you want to watch it before then. But the edited version with the theme song and everything will be up on Monday for you to check out. Make sure you subscribe, follow all those places, all that jazz. Check out the merch store, shop.cosmodromeradio.com if you want to check us out there. And we will be back brand new next week, because hopefully your boy's gonna be real excited about a blast furnace. So we'll see how that goes. But we will catch you folks Starside. Peace out.
Let us.